Welcome to the show, everyone. I absolutely can't wait to have my first guest on, who has been on with me now.
Well, you're going to have to wait.
No, I'm not going to wait any longer. The show has now begun. We're live in here. We're also live on Facebook. So hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We'll share the show later on. My first guest has been on with me now for over 17 years. I have with me Doc. He's the owner of HYPNOTIC One. And Doc, you know, I think a lot of people, when they think about hypnosis, they think a lot, you said earlier, about people quacking like a duck and walking like a chicken and things like that. This is not what you do. I want you to tell everybody a little bit about what you do and what makes you so different.
I make people's dreams come true and their goals come true. Otherwise, if they're trying to get off drugs or alcohol, smoking, that's easy. I get them off that. They don't have any withdrawal symptoms. Or they come in, they're a businessman, they're stressing out. We show them how to get rid of their stress where they don't have that anymore. The depression, we get people out of depression. Then we've got professional athletes and amateur athletes that they're not playing up to their potential consistently. We get those back. And we got people bringing their kids in. I've got a lot of people that bring their kids in now, and not just the 10 and 15-year-olds, but the 20 and 30 and 40-year-olds that are still living at home, and they're still kind of stuck there, not doing anything. They're not working, and they just lay around. They have procrastination.
Oh, procrastination. Nobody ever does anything
like
that. Oh,
no. Everybody's procrastinating. And I've had so much more of that ever since the pandemic. I think the pandemic has really affected people more than they think it did.
Oh, sure, I bet. Now, when you work with people, first of all, they come in, they're going to get a whole lowdown of what true hypnosis really is.
Yeah, and every hypnotist is different. Otherwise, there's probably 150, 250 hypnotists in the valley. I'm totally different. Nobody else gives a lifetime warranty. If I work with you one time, we're going to get you over because I got a 98% success rate. I don't care what it is, because I custom build every program for the person. And we get you over, we get you sent off on your own then. And maybe 6 months later, or a year later, or 2 years later, all of a sudden something happens in your life. All of a sudden, now you get stressed out. Something's coming back on you. You give me a call. It's free. Come on back in. Get you taken care of.
Now, when you work with people, you also give them an MP3 to be able to take home and do this as well, not only with you, because you're there 24/7, but on their own.
That's right. And I've got to make a little statement here, because I had a few people call me from out of the city that they went to a hypnotist and all they got was a CD, and they never got any, they thought that's what hypnosis was. Just listen to a CD.
No.
And I told them that is not what it is. I have CDs, yes. I have MP3s and MP4 players, and now we're getting downloadables. But this is a tool that we use along with the therapy session. Sure, if you're in Alaska and you can't come down and see me, yes, it's better than nothing, but I like to see the clients. I like to take and do the therapy and the regression where we get rid of the underlying problem. Because most people, and even the most hypnotists out there, they do motivational things, and they give you all these motivational things to do, but they don't get to the underlying problem. And if you don't get to the underlying problem, it comes back and bites you again.
Now, the one thing that we also want to talk about is that you will not let them fail.
Helping you fail, you got a coach and a trainer and a teammate working with you, and you can call me up 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, even at midnight on Sunday. I take texts and sometimes phone call, because I'm serious about keeping people going in the right direction and being successful.
So you can call him. His phone number is 602-547-0446. Leave a message and he will call you back and tell you how he can help you. You have been doing what you do for over 40
Yes, right at 40 years
40
now.
years around the world, okay?
And that's
not just
it. I
here.
worked 7 years in Australia, 6 months at a time, worked in Thailand. I worked over in Hawaii. Yes, it's part of the U.S., but it doesn't seem like it when you're there. I worked down in Honduras in the hospitals. I delivered about 30 babies with hypnosis. The next week we did 12 operations with no anesthetic. And so I had a great start getting right out of the chute of learning from the best, because I went to 3 different schools, I learned from the best people.
There's a lot of people out there that can say that they're a hypnotherapist, and they might have gotten their certification over the weekend. That's not Doc.
No, and I just had a person come in yesterday that was graduating from a school here, and he didn't really know how to do a rapid induction. And I showed a lot of things I did, and he says, we're not learning any of that. I says, when are you gonna graduate? A few months? He says, no, a few weeks. And so the thing is anybody out there that goes to a hypnotist, everybody's gonna be different, but the thing is, you need to ask them questions. You know, how long you been doing it? What's your success rate? How many clients have you worked with? Have you ever worked with this situation? And really ask them, because you're putting a good chunk of change out there, and you're relying on him or her to help you.
And that's the whole point. And not only to help you, but help make it stick. And that's the difference when you're gonna do something like this. This is to make it stick. Obviously, down the line, if something happens, Doc is never gonna let you fail. He's always gonna be there for you. He has a lifetime warranty, and these are customized programs to meet your needs. His number again is 602-547-0446. You mentioned earlier, you were talking, and I was sort of hearing what you were saying, how you always have them come to your office. Not everybody, not every hypnotherapist has an office.
And that's the truth.
That's right there going to show you the difference.
If a therapist doesn't have an office, you know, they're not really a therapist, because how are you going to find them then? Are they going to be working out of their house where that all of a sudden the dog's coming up and licking you on the hand when they're working with him? No. If he can't afford an office, then he's probably not in it for the long haul. Mm-hmm. You know, I've done a lot of things in life and had a lot of different businesses. That's why I'm good at teaching business people. But 40 years doing this, and I love what I do, because whenever you can take somebody that's having a tough time, whether it's a hard time in business or a relationship or addiction, and you can take it all of a sudden in a few weeks, you've got them happy and healthy and wealthy and going in the right direction. I love what I do.
Well, let me just tell you how many times that you're in here, and when people are listening to you, they'll come to me and they'll say, do you have a card, Doc? Or, do you have Doc's card? Also, when you go to him, like family members, I've known this to happen too, where, mom comes in and has something that she needs, then the daughter comes in, all of a sudden now the husband's coming in.
And then the boss comes in and his kids, and I've had that. I've run into a person that sent a girl in, all of a sudden, I got her off the smoking and off of anger and everything. Then all of a sudden, the girl that sent her into me, she come in to see me, and it worked out so well for the insomnia for her that she sent her husband in for anger management, and then I sent her 3 kids in for different things. So it snowballs.
It does, and everybody says the same thing when they leave your office. They call up and they say, I love that Doc. I really do, because you're a life changer, and that's what you do, is you change people's lives.
And it's easier than they think possible. Even if they're on drugs, they've went through different dry out clinics and they've did all this, and when they get out, about 6 to 10 days, they start to do it again. Not with me.
No, and we're going to talk about that. It's a perfect segue for when we come back. You can check him out on his website. It's HYPNOTIC1.com. Call him and leave a message and tell him what's going on. He can tell you exactly how he can help you at 602-547-0446. We're still live in here, so we're going to keep on going. Okay?
Well, yes. Are you live?
I am. I got a pulse.
Good. How do you know? That might be leftovers.
I want to talk about people on drugs and things like that, because, I think that's the hardest thing that people think that they can't get through. And for you, it's one of the easiest things.
It is. Addiction's easy. Smoking's the easiest thing I've ever done, but now with the alcohol and the drugs, that's really simple.
But there's a lot of things that are addictions, not just drugs.
You can be addicted to your job, you can be addicted to a person.
Working, love.
A lot of different things. You can addict to being SOS, stuck on stupid. Yep. Certain people are afraid of
I've
success.
never heard that before.
Certain
Step
people
on
are afraid,
stone.
yeah. But certain people are afraid of success.
You know what? It's true. And
I know it.
what's really important is for people to know that family members don't want them to be a success. They say it, but they don't really
The
like
family
it.
members are the last one to go to because they don't want to see you hurt or fail or anything else. Well, you know what? They're gonna pat you on the back and say, you know what? You're all right. It's okay. Not everybody can be successful.
Well,
Yes, they can.
They want you, they'll say it to you, you should do this and you should do that. But the minute you start succeeding,
Yeah.
that's where like, do you really want to do
Because
that?
then they look like
do
a
you really
failure.
have to do it every day?
Yeah.
You know, these kinds of things.
What are you doing with it?
This?
Oh.
Oh, did you think I was doing some kind of nervous thing?
Yeah.
Like a little, like a baby with a piece of silk or something?
It's like a
No, I wouldn't have to call you and have you help me. I have this addiction, doc. I like to fondle, fondle, what are these? Lozenges.
Yeah. Easy for you to
That's a
say.
terrible addiction.
You ought to come to me for that speech impediment you've
Yeah,
got.
I've got that too,
going.
Luckily, we can be like this, you know?
Doc, where's your office?
43rd and Thunderbird in Glendale. I'm booked up this week, half of next week. Probably squeeze you in.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Yeah, right. We all have things.
If you had one bad habit to get rid of, what would it be?
Welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Doc. He's the owner of Hypnotic One. And he's been on the show for over 17 years. And a lot of people, they hear this and, you know, they go, oh yeah, I gotta call that guy. And they're gonna write that number down. They put it on the refrigerator. Oh yeah, I gotta call that guy. You know?
Then all of a sudden it's a year later. But when they come
Sometimes
in,
longer.
Yeah, and when they come in and I help them overcome their obstacles and get rid of their problems and whatever it is, then they look at me and say, what took me so long to
Right.
get in here? That was so simple and so easy. But the thing is, when I tell people how easy it is, they say, oh yeah, for you. I says, no, it's really that easy. That thing sitting on your shoulders, what is it? It's an electrochemical organic computer. It's got a virus in it or hasn't been programmed to be a winner. And you keep yourself from winning. You keep yourself in that safe zone, that comfort zone. I'm going to take you out of that comfort zone because I'm going to put you in the winning zone.
And there's nothing wrong with getting out of your comfort zone.
That's it.
Comfort, it's not good.
It's not comfortable after a while
Yeah.
because everybody else is succeeding, or at least some of the people around you are succeeding. And if not, then you're around the wrong people. Get around people that are positive, optimistic, and outgoing and successful.
He has a 98% success rate. Doc will give you a customized program to meet your needs. And yes, you're going to get a tool of it's an MP3 that you do work along with this. It's something that you use as a tool along with his help. He won't let you fail, and he has a lifetime warranty.
And the thing is, you take that home and mow it, and people say, well, I don't have that much time. Well, I say 90% of your work on this is going to be while you're sleeping. So tell me you don't have time. And really the side benefit of working on any of my programs with me is you get better sleep. And who couldn't use better sleep? And that means the inflammation of your body starts dissipating and disappearing. So you wake up feeling refreshed, ready to go, ready to meet the challenge of the day with a positive, optimistic attitude.
His number is 602-547-0446. You can check him out on his website. It's hypnotic1.com. We were talking a little bit about addictions, and we said there's a lot of different addictions, but you know, drug addictions, alcohol, probably food too is pretty up there.
Food is the worst
It's
one.
hard because you got to eat.
You
right?
still got to eat.
Right.
Drugs and cigarettes and alcohol, you know what, you either use them or don't. But food, you still gotta eat.
You gotta
it.
eat. But the one thing that you've always said, and it's amazing what you do, is that you do not take anything away from anyone. And that is what I think a lot of people who are addicted to, let's say, and it doesn't matter, heroin, crack, it doesn't matter what it is. They think
doesn't
of the
matter,
hardest
but
things.
Once you
can do
take it away from them, that's what they're gonna focus on. That's what they're gonna want. And that's what causes the withdrawal symptom, and everybody thinks, well, that's physiological. Well, it starts psychological, because they can have a withdrawal symptom within a few minutes of not having that, and all you have to do is say, hey, the drug's on its way, and all of a sudden they calm right down.
Mhm.
So the thing, it is psychologically run. So the thing is, that's why I never take anything away from them. We reprogram the mind so that the mind all of a sudden doesn't want it. And that's where most hypnotists and me are loggerheads, because most of them take something away from it and then try to deal with the withdrawal symptom, and they don't have the tools to do that.
And let's say they do. Let's say they get dried out for a little
Yeah.
bit, right? Now you've got, how much are some of those different places that they go to? I have
Usually
no
about
idea.
20,000 to 30,000 a month to get off of a drug.
And then they come out, and
And
they
come
might be great for a week.
Yeah,
or
and that's
two.
it. Because once you're locked in there, yeah, you're not gonna get any drugs, or they're gonna put you on their drug. And once
That's
you
the
come
other
out, you're back in your reality world. Otherwise, your buddies maybe been around you that sold you the drugs or doing the drugs. The thing is, all of a sudden, that temptation gets to you. And because that's the part of the mind that we work with, is the temptation part of the mind, the emotional part of the mind, the subconscious part of the mind. So the thing is if you don't get to the underlying problem and solve that, you're never going to get free of it for good.
Now, maybe it's you. Maybe it's someone that you know. We all know.
And that's it. Everybody knows somebody that could use my help. Otherwise, they're depressed, they're on a drug, or they're just
Overweight.
Yeah. And the thing
Alcoholic.
is, oh, and smoker.
We might as well all just die, right? No, but we are all, a lot of, but you know what the sad news is that
It's
truly
suicide.
is true. That there are so many people out there that are hurting, that are scared. A lot of this is fear, and they try and self-medicate by whatever drugs they can get, food, all sorts of things.
And-
Even working late at night.
Oh,
And-
that's it. You know what?
and-
I never did the drugs, but I did the alcohol when I was younger, because I had nightclubs and bars. That's what I owned. And I smoked 4-pack of non-filler Camel cigarettes a day. I drank a fifth of alcohol a day.
Nice.
And you know what? Once I went through the hypnotic training, I stopped it just like that. Didn't have any withdrawal symptoms because I didn't want it anymore. And see, that's the thing is, so you have to come in to believe it. You gotta come in and see
You
it.
gotta try. That's the thing is you have to go in there and you have to see what real true hypnosis is, and come into the office and sit down and let him talk to you. He has a 98% success rate, and there is a reason for that. And there is a reason why he also has a lifetime warranty.
Because I custom build a program for the person. Most hypnotists out there, they graduate out of a school. Now, the first person they work with, they're gonna read off of a sheet of paper, but if that doesn't fit that client totally, then it's not gonna work for them. Or it'll work for a short time period, but their enthusiasm goes down and their addiction comes back. So the thing is, you have to get to the underlying cause.
Can we talk about children for just a minute? Because
Sure.
I feel sorry for the kids today. They are in a terrible state. Some of them are, look at, they're committing suicide very often, right?
Suicide's like the second reason for adolescents to die.
It's so sad.
It is so sad. And the parents, you know what, they try to help the child, they try to do everything, but they don't have the tools. They don't have the knowledge. There's a reason why people fail at anything. First, there's only two reasons. First, they don't know how. Second, they don't want it bad enough. And these parents want it bad enough, but they still don't know how. So when they bring in the child, and I work with, they all said to me, why don't they teach this in school?
They should actually.
Because who's teaching people how to use their mind to be successful? How to overcome obstacles? And the thing is when you overcome an obstacle, that makes you a winner, and that makes you feel good. But if you don't have any obstacles in your life, how are you ever gonna feel good? And people don't want obstacles in their life, and then they get bored. Isn't that odd?
Well, here's the thing, the
Then
best
they
thing
use
that
drugs.
you can do, or do other things.
Yeah.
I mean, there's kids who are cutters, and people too. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're a child or not. Also, I do wanna also talk about the fact that with Doc, there's kids that even do, maybe they're not necessarily, doing drugs, or they're not, depressed, but they bedwet. That could be an issue too, and you can help them with that. I mean, literally almost anything that someone's dealing with, you can help them with. Let me give out that phone number. It's 602-547-0446.
Come in and set up an appointment. Give me a call, set up an appointment, come in, and just sit and listen. I've got videos of people that's went through the program. They're gonna talk about it. They're gonna tell you their individual results on how quick it happened. I've had people come in, they didn't really wanna quit smoking, but all of a sudden 7 days later, the cigarettes taste so nasty and so terrible, they wanted to throw them away, and they couldn't even tell me why they smoked it.
The client that I had that was
Oh,
sitting
yeah.
in here, oh my gosh, and she was been a smoker for 40 or more years, 4 packs a day, something crazy. She went to you, she called me crying. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Because people are trying to get free. Health, wealth, and happiness. This is what I train people to do. Put them in control of their life instead of being controlled by people, places, things, or the past.
Well, the best thing that you could do for yourself is give him a call. It doesn't cost you anything to do that. And you sit down and you talk to him, find out what he can do to help. Go in there and learn the process. I think that's the main thing,
That's
is
it.
going in there and checking it out.
It is a process. It's like I build you a map to take you from where you're at to where you want to go. And all of a sudden you find out it's so simple and so easy. Them obstacles that used to stop you or take you off the path, now them obstacles, you overcome them and you feel like a winner.
You cannot say you don't have time, because most of this you're going to be doing in your sleep. And it just makes sense for people who are struggling to at least make the phone call. At 602-547-0446, HYPNOTIC1.com. What do you want to finish with?
It's like a lady called me here last year, and I already had her in my phone because she called me 10 years ago, and she asked me the same questions about stop smoking. And finally, I called her by name. She said, "How do you know my name?" I said, "You called me 10 years ago." And guess what? How would you like to have $35,000 in your bank account right now? That's what you'd had if you come in last time you called me.
The phone number to call again is 602-547-0446. Don't procrastinate anymore. Make a change, and you're going to be so happy that you did. The number again, 602-547-0446. Go to his website. You can check him out. He's got a lot of great information about him there. It is HYPNOTIC1.com.